Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Sharps Off. So, the review for the November 30th NHL games, last day of November. So, we're going to start off with the Capitals and the Ducks. First period, Anthony Mantha scores on assist for the Capitals at 1:27. Shortly thereafter, 20 seconds after, roughly, at 1:49, Tristan Leno scores on assist for the Ducks to tie it up. Bradley Simmons then scored from Leo Carlson at 7:51. Tom Wilson will score unassisted at 5:54, and then Wilson will score one more at 18:39 from Ovechkin and Carlson on the power play. Nick Dad would then give the Capitals a 2-goal lead from Rasmus Sandin and Obey Kubel at 18:59. Second period, no scoring. Third period, Brock McGinn adds one for the Ducks at 11:45 from Bradley Simmons and Tristan Leno. Tom Wilson would score the hat trick at 14:22 the third from Ovechkin and Carlson on the power play. And then Vetrano would add one to bring the Ducks within one at 19:32 from Alex Killorn. That wouldn't be enough. Washington holds on and takes it 5-4. Alright, Arizona and Colorado. So in the first period, Colorado opens up the scoring. Kale McCarr scoring from Mikko Renton and Valery Nichushkin at 19:31 on the power play. Second period, Travis Boyd, who's a former Canuck, would score at 3:03 from Liam O'Brien and JJ Moser. Miles Wood would then give the Avs back the lead at 4:44 for the second from Caleb Jones and Ross Colton. Nick Schmaltz would tie it up from Kerfoot and Keller on the power play at 16:22. Third period, Michael Carcone would give the Coyotes the lead from Troy Stetcher, who's a former Canuck, and Michael Kesserling at 1:08 of the third. And then McKinnon would score at 11:04 from McCarr and Renton on the power play, sending the game to overtime. And then Bukestad would score unassisted at 4:39 of overtime to give the Coyotes the win. 4-3. Oilers and Jets. First period, Cole Perfetti scores at 18:27 from Scheifele and Cal Connor on the power play. Second period, no scoring. Third period, Nurse scores at 13:11 from McLeod and Janmark. Draisaitl would score at 17:47 from McDavid and Bouchard on the power play. And then McLeod would score into the empty net from Hyman and Ceci at 19:40. Oilers take that one 3-1. Buffalo versus St. Louis. The first period, Brendan Saad scores from Oscar Sundqvist at 1:08. 5:02, Braden Shen would add another one for the Blues from Troy Krug and Robert Thomas on the power play. Jade Neighbors would then add another one for the Blues to put them up 3-0 at 10:59 from Nick Leddy and Pavel Buchnevich. Rasmus Dahlin would add one for the Sabres before the period was out at 13:32 from Oposo and Krebs. Second period, Buffalo scores again. Zach Benson scoring from Dylan Cousins at 6:10. Then at 10:53, Peyton Krebs scores from Dahlin and Greenway. Kevin Hayes would add another one for the Blues at 13:04 from Jordan Kyrou and Braden Shen. Shen would score second at 13:28 from Jordan Kyrou and Kevin Hayes. Neighbors would score his second of the game at 4:38 the third from Buchnevich and Falk. Then JJ Paterka would score for the Sabres at 16:42 from Cousins and Benson. But the Blues hold on and take that one 4-6. Or 6-4, rather. Alright, Minnesota and Nashville. So Nashville actually getting a loss for the first time in a while. First period at 6:08, Connor Dwyer scores from Brendan Duhamel and Marco Rossi. Middleton would add another one from Foligno and Dwyer at 14:01. And then Kaprizov would score from Zuccarello and Spurgeon on the power play at 14:32 the first. Second period, Pat Maroon scores at 1:43 from Goligoski and Goudreau. That's Frederick, not Johnny, obviously. Then Dwyer scores at 11:12 from Kaprizov. Third period, Pastrana scores the one and only goal for the Predators at 2:37 from McDonough and Evangelista. And then Dwyer would add another one at 9:47 for the Wild from Lettieri and Bogosian to win it for them 6-1. Alright, Islanders and Hurricanes. So in the first period, Jalen Chatfield scores for the Hurricanes from Bunting and Orlov at 8:08. Horvat, former Canuck, would score at 18 minutes from Barzal and Anders Lee. This was tied 1-1 going into the second. Second period, Jordan Stahl scores from Martinic and Slavin at 2:01. Then Holstrom would tie it up at 15:59 from Pajot, shorthanded. Engvall would then give the Islanders the lead at 18:03 from Barzal and Dobson. Third period, 39 seconds in, Jack Drury scores for the Hurricanes to tie it up. Stefan Nosen scoring from Barton Natchez. Palmieri would then give the lead back to the Islanders. At 6:41, Noah Dobson and Matthew Barzal with the assists on the power play. Sebastian Aho then scored to tie it up at 19:57 from Jordan Stahl and Brett Burns. There's 3 seconds left in the game. Unfortunately, Barzal would end their hopes of a win and give them the second point at 2:46 from Noah Dobson. In overtime, the Islanders did that one 5-4. Alright, Devils and Flyers. So in the first period, Alexander Holtz scores for the Devils at 3:10 from McLeod and Miller. At 15-12, Jack Hughes would score from Toffoli and Dawson Mercer to give the Devils a 2-0 lead. Morgan Frost would score for the Flyers from Konechny and York on the power play at 11:49 the second. Third period, Toffoli scores from Hischier and Hughes on the power play at 4:31. Walker would score at 15 minutes from Couturier and Konechny. Then Forster would score at 19:09 from Lawton and Bobby Brink on the power play to tie it up. And then in overtime, Luke Hughes scores his third of the year at 28 seconds from Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier to win it for the Devils in overtime. They take that one 4-3. Alright, Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. So in the first period, Stamkos scores at 9:06 from Hedman and Kucherov. Still playing up at a ridiculous pace. At 12:33, Janot would score from Sergachev and Gassier Kucherov on the power play. Crosby would then score at 8 minutes and 53 seconds of the second period from Jake Gensel. 1924, Drew O'Connor would score from Malkin and Letang to tie it up. Jeff Carter would then score in the third at 2:49 from Magneto and Marcus Pettersson. And then Jarry would score the first goal of the year, I believe, at 18:52 unassisted in the empty net. And the Penguins take that one 4-2. Alright, next up, Chicago and Detroit. In the first period, JT Compher scores from Andrew Kopp and Jake Wallman shorthanded at 2:29. Lucas Reichel would then score at 3:20 from Bedard and Korchinski on the power play. Robbie Fabry would then give the Red Wings the lead back at 8:42 from Jake Wallman. Ben Sherratt would score from DeBrincat and Raymond at 5:09. JT Compher would score. This is the second period. Shortly thereafter at 5:56 from Perron and Raymond on the power play. Robbie Fabry would then score again at 10:54 the third from Sprung and Sider on the power play. And Detroit takes that one 5-1. Alright, Florida and Montreal. First period, no scoring. Second period, Barkov scores a 7-7 unassisted. That would be the only goal of the second. Third period, 8 seconds in, Sam Bennett scores from Carter Verhaeghe. Evan Rodriguez would then score at 3:12 from Sam Reinhart and Alexander Barkov. Verhaeghe will then score one of his own at 5:59 the third from Lundell and Rodriguez on the power play. At 9:30, Kovacevic, hopefully that's right, scores from Caulfield and Evans to put the Habs on the board. Then in 1949, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who's a former Canuck, would score from Kulikov and Nick Cousins to put it away for the Panthers. They won that one 5-1. Alright, San Jose and Boston. This one was pretty predictable, I think. First period, no scoring. Second period, Danton Heinen scores from Potras at 1:39. At 8:10, DeBrus scores from Zaka and Pasternak. Third period, at 6:37, Zaka scores from Pasternak and McAvoy on the power play. And the Bruins take that one 3-0. Alright, Toronto and Seattle. This one went to a shootout, which was strange, I guess. First period is 6:34. Marner scores from Nylander and Matthews on the power play. Second period, Marner would score a second at 21 seconds from Matthews and Timmins. Jared McCann, who's a former Canuck, would score from Bjorkstrand and Eberle on the power play at 3:37 Yep. And then Marner would score the hat trick at 16:01 from McCabe. Third period, Tolvanen scores from Ty Karche and Adam Larson at 6:15. And then McCann, former Canuck, would score at 13:24 from Wenberg and Schultz to tie it up. Overtime, no scoring in the third period. One Chino, it's Mitchell Marner, scoring the winner for the Maple Leafs. Moving on to Vancouver and Vegas. I was semi-excited for this game. First period, Barbashev scores from Eichel and Stone at 4:46. Eichel would then score his third goal against the Canucks at 16:18 from Barbashev and Haig. Nice passing play there. Second period, 11:27, Carlson scores from Eichel and Pietrangelo on the power play. Third period, Brett Howden was credited with a bouncer at 16 seconds from Pietrangelo and Mario. And then at 4:01, Kuzmenko would score the lone goal for the Canucks from JT Miller and Brock Besser. The Vegas Golden Knights take that one 4-1. Hopefully it'll be better next time we face them next year. Anyways, not next season, just next year because it's December 1st now. Anyways, moving on to Dallas and Calgary. First period, Thomas Harley scores for the Stars at 4:51 from Pavelski and Robertson. Tanev, who is a former Canuck, wouldn't you know, would score from Mangiapane and Gilbert at 8:02. 15:30, Hannafin would score from Coleman and Backlund to put the Calgary Flames up 2-1. And then Montreal would tie it up in 19 minutes from Heiskanen and Sagan. Second period, no scoring. Third period, Marchment gives the Stars lead unassisted on a penalty shot at 1:49. Uyghur will then tie it up again from Huberdeau. So they're getting some production from them now. And then in overtime, at 1:01, Kadri would score from Huberdeau and Markstrom, former Canuck, to win it for Calgary 4-3. Those are the reviews for the games on the last day of November. December 1st today, so I'll bring it back tomorrow with a review of tonight's games. Hit like if you liked it, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.